Greetings, mortals. Jared Petty here with IGN, and today we're talking about 7 things that are different about Dark Souls 2 as compared to its predecessors. There have been a few changes this time around, and you're going to want to be familiar with them if you're returning to the series. The first big change is humanity. Now, in Dark Souls 2, when you're a human being, you're at maximum possible strength. You can see, and then you die. When you come back, you're hollowed, and the hollowed state changes a couple of things. First, and very important, you can't see summon signs. And second, every time you return hollowed, your maximum HP is reduced. When you die as a hollowed, it's reduced again, and it can reduce all the way down to 50%. The only way to restore your humanity when hollowed is to consume an item called a human effigy, and those are actually fairly scarce in the early game. So you're going to want to be very careful about dying, and also careful about when you use those. The second big change that you're going to come across in Dark Souls 2 is the way that you level up. Instead of leveling up at every fire, you're going to talk to this lady, the Emerald Herald, who's located next to the Far Fire in Majula. Talking to her allows you to level up. She's also the one that provides your initial Estus Flask, and she's the person who will upgrade your Estus Flask with shards when you locate them. You go to her and level up when you've got enough souls to cash in for increased attributes. The third change is torches, which seems like a small change, but does have a couple of important effects. Torches are now a consumable item that are lit at bonfires without penalty. You carry torches to sconces. You can light up areas. Torches will drive certain enemies back. The light will cause them to recoil from you. And later in the game, and I don't want to spoil too much, but you're really going to want to use a torch for one of the boss fights. And I'll leave you to that. If you want to find that out, you can find out later on the wiki about it. The fourth big change is that fast travel is now available from every bonfire, from the very beginning of the game. You want to travel? No penalty. Sit down at the bonfire. By the way, bonfires have no penalties now. You can use them all you want to heal. Travel, pick your destination, any fire you've already lit, and alakazam, boom, you're there. That's a pretty handy thing to have there. So yeah, bonfires work quite a bit differently. Another big change is the physics. The ragdoll physics are gone. Even the smallest enemies and the weakest have a bit of heft to them. There's a real change in the way the game feels. Things fall and move, they thud. Nothing really flops around anymore, including you. And you'll find the combat's a little tighter. Speaking of heft, look at these big guys. Another big change is the combat. Enemy AI, speaking generally, is more aggressive. Enemies tend to be better about defending themselves. They're also really good at pursuing you across levels now. And you get hordes of them chasing you wherever you go. Your own combat abilities have changed a little too. Dodging is a little less effective than it was in Dark Souls, where sword and board and shield blocking is much more effective. You're really going to find parries to be a lot more effective way of preventing damage than they used to be. Although if you miss your dodge or parry, well, that doesn't do you any good. Also, when you're invading games, something you need to know, you've got all these new covenants, but understand that your visits into other people's worlds are now timed. So if you're going to grief somebody or help them out, you've only got a limited amount of time to do that. Now look at those. Those are our 7 big changes in Dark Souls 2. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Are you enjoying Dark Souls 2? We've got this comment section here, and you can take a look at it and let us know. Until then, for all your Dark Souls 2 needs and wants, keep it locked to ye old IGN.